Not saying that the previous years, but it's like the pinnacle of what you've been waiting on is about to happen. And you got to manage this transition properly.
Because when you manage transitions properly, on the other side, everything is up to date.
It's like the software.
Everything is up to date, ready to go when you manage transitions properly. Like when you go through things and you manage your transition properly, you can get healing in a matter of time. I'm not saying that if you get a cut and it scrape up, you know, it might have a little whatever. If you don't tend to it, it's gonna take longer to heal. If you don't tend to it, the longer you don't manage from when it got damaged,
It's good.
it's gonna take longer for it to heal. You know what I mean? So when you manage those transitions, man, you are able to be in a certain predicament at a certain amount of time.
The B2S podcast is brought to you by Motivated Apparel. Motivated Apparel, the premier gear for motivation. A brand that motivates, inspires, and empowers you to stay motivated while chasing your dreams. Head on over to www.shiftmotivations.com/shop Motivated Apparel and grab yourself some Motivated Apparel today.
Hey, yo, what up, world? What it do? Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blueprint to Success podcast, where we share principles on how to live life by design and not by default. Once again, it's your boy, Mike Mariner, a.k.a. the Shift Motivator, joined with you on tonight once again with my brother from another mother. Y'all give it up for Mr. Alxndr Hall. What's happening? Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, man.
This is the first official episode of the new year. We replayed the first episode actually last week for New Year. So we took the time off, spend time with family, wind down a little bit. So y'all make sure y'all go check out the Power Momentum. I'm sure that it's gonna bless you. So man, but we excited about what's going on. And then y'all also know who this guy is on my right, your left, man.
Yes,
y'all
sir.
give it up for my brother from the same mother.
Yeah.
Give it up for Big Dub. Big Bad. Mr. Always Got It.
All day.
Mr. Coming in live in 2025.
Big things.
Y'all give it up for Boy Wonda, man.
What's happening? It's
Say
gonna be a big year, man. I'm telling you. Listen, bro, we fit excel like never before. We're going to go Stephen A on them, okay? We're going to let them know, like, listen, we got the ball. We're going to the hole. We're going to score. Now, what's up, Blueprint Nation, man?
What's happening, fellas? What's happening?
Bro, so grand to be alive. God is doing things already. He's working. So
He's working.
he is working, bro. Like, and it's just being able to be ready to receive what we've been praying and prepping for.
Yeah.
So enjoying what he's doing right now, man.
Yes, Zeriski. Yeah, I feel like 2025 gonna be a good year. Yeah, we had a good. We really didn't have like a watch night service. We had we do this thing every quarter, night of prayer and worship. So for the December one, he actually decided to reschedule it and do it since New Year's fell on that Tuesday, which is the night we do Bible study.
Yeah.
So we actually did an actual service that night, but he didn't change the time. He kept the regular time.
Yeah.
So we was able to do the service and then, kind of go home and chill out. Or go, some people went to other actual watch night services and stuff like that. So, and it was good, man. It was good, man. And the theme was release, transition, and establish, release, transition, establish. That's what the theme was, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm feeling got some good things gonna happen in 2025. Not to say there's not gonna be any challenges or anything.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think for those that have been sacrificing and continue to move and believe, and I think this is the year that what we was believing for and been promised is going to be established. So yeah.
And we're moving with a different sense of urgency. So it's a different level of understanding also.
Yeah.
When it comes to the challenges that may arise or that may come. We have a different attitude about it, and so we like embracing it and ready for it, and it also helps you to adjust and be mentally prepared and ready for whatever's to come. And so I'm definitely shifting and adjusting in that manner too. Just I'm on the look. I'm looking out. I got the telescope. There it is. On the prowl.
On the prowl.
I'm gonna get you before you get me. All right. Get the proper utility,
Yeah. So what y'all guys been? I know we've been going through the holidays and stuff, man. So I figured it'd be a good time to kind of take some time off a little bit. So anything new? I know y'all got some new music dropping this year. I know that much. I do know that. Stephen A.
Well, my well Morris chestnut looking brother, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Come on, Skip.
Hey, Skip, you know God's good, Skip. It's a guy that reached out to me at University of Florida. University of Full Sail. He reached out and wanted to do an interview with me. I was like, hey, come on, Skip. I had a guy named Jonah Kennedy reached out to me. He goes to Full Sail University and reached out. He's like, man, I'm just trying to do. I'm a journalist and I'm just trying to cover, different aspects and different artists of Christian hip hop and just trying to get, different backgrounds and understanding. I was like, okay, cool, man. I was like, yo, I should reach Stage Info. And I said, I know a slew of artists. I said, I got to label myself and, I know a lot of people that you can get interviews, whatever you need, bro. Any way I can assist and be a help, cool. And so he's going to send me the information Monday. Definitely got new music dropping. Can't wait for you to hear it. Got new music.
I can't wait for me to hear it too.
Got new music dropping throughout the whole entire year, so it's gonna be crazy, bro. Compilation album with the bros and everybody else is dropping.
It's gonna be fire. I already know. You gotta tell me.
And so it's bro. Then the Kingdom Builders tour will be popping that off in April, and so man, God's good, bro.
Yeah.
We got Cleveland, Michigan, Flint, and Detroit. We got Ohio, Cleveland, not Cleveland, but Akron. We also got, I believe it's West Point, Kentucky. Then we also have Georgia, Alabama, Jacksonville.
Okay. Sound man. Sound like popping off. That's good, man.
God's good, bro. And just one of the main things he's really been teaching me, bro, just use what you have. You know what I'm saying? Just keep working what you have. It's going to work. Because you've been consistent and persistent with it. It's going to work. It's going to pay off. So,
yeah.
And a lot more other things that I can't speak on right now, but it's a blessing, bro.
I don't care. I just don't.
Y'all brothers perks. Y'all get that behind the scene.
Tell me. Put it out there. Some other stuff that we just can't talk about right now. You should have just kept that to yourself. I don't care. Nah, I really don't.
Bruh, it's God blows my mind, man. He really blows my mind. And it shows you what consistency and just willing to fight through whatever it is, no matter what your environment looking like. You can be in the wilderness, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You just keep moving. Just keep pushing. So it's just resilience pays off, man. It really does.
Yeah. So what's going on, bro?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Mr. Dumbo? Mr. Lions Den?
Yeah.
You know what? I meant to ask you though. Do you still? I'm sorry to put you on the spot on the air like that though. Now I do like the new version. Don't get me wrong, but do you still got the old version of Lions Den?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Can you send that to? Can you send that to a brother?
Yeah, I got sent to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got that because we had to make some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wanting to ask you because that first version that you did is, of course, it's totally it's different because it's meant to be different. But it just, I was like, I meant to ask him about that because that's like that it got like ooh boy, it just got that shit
Stuck with you.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We got to start.
He got that, you know what I'm saying? Got that DMX, you like,
I still got it.
he got that boy. You pump that joke, boy. You like, yeah.
We
Yeah,
keep
different,
everything in the vault until
Yeah.
we know what's gonna happen with it. You know what I mean? Like I really.
Yeah, shoot that to my email if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
I got records right now that's
On my phone, either
that,
one.
that need to be sent to master like right
Yeah.
now. They're already mixed and ready to go.
Yeah, I don't care. I take it where it is because I heard it when you did it, when you finished this. I don't care if it's mixed or not. You can just send that to me later on tonight. I don't care. It
Yeah,
sounds good just the way it is.
I think I need to go ahead and just send them to master to get them have them like ready to go.
Yeah.
But I don't ship them off to master until I know exactly what I'm gonna do with them. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep
Nah, that makes sense.
Now that new one sound fire too, you know. But I like the old one too. I was like, I wonder if he'll let me Big Brother Perks.
Yes.
And no, y'all can't have it. It's mine.
Always.
Unless he release it. Until he release it.
Yeah, we
Oh, you
got,
can do like maybe release it like a remix, even though it's the original.
I could.
You know?
You
But I know your mind be so progressive, boy. You be 3 states over.
Yeah,
he gone.
He like, nah, bro, catch up.
Yeah, there's season stuff that's going on personally behind the scenes and stuff like that. I think I just I think I have to be like in a progressive mind state.
Yeah,
So I don't be
Yeah.
neutral.
Yeah.
And above everything, I'm just asking God to keep my heart moist with everything.
Yeah.
Everybody, every situation, just keep my heart moist so I can
Yeah,
just so whatever happens, I'm able to handle it how I'm supposed
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what, no matter what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we got shouts out to Kingdom Revival Records. We got a record coming out.
Yeah, great new partnership with them, man. That's
love
what's
that.
up, man.
Yeah, it's dope. They reached out. We in partnership, and we just trying to push Kingdom culture through music, bro. And
For real.
yeah, we got a record coming out this month called Throne Room. So that'll be out. Diamond did the production. Sadan, he did some stuff on it.
It's nice.
Man, you and Diamond like that Dre Snoop feel. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, when Snoop came out with something, you already know who did it. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows the sound. He just knows you ain't got to go nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I don't plan on. I got some other producers that I want to work with. I still want to work with Instrument Tool. He like my first producer.
I forgot about Tool.
My
Yeah.
man's Tool.
Yeah.
That's boom bap.
That's the homie.
Yeah.
That's the big homie. So I still want to do something with him. But as far as locking in, like we trying to build North Cape the brand. So whatever's gonna build the brand, that's what I've been told Diamond years ago. That's what I'm on.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my lungs. That's what I'm on, trying to build the brand. So whatever that can assist of. And he called me before I got here. He was like, "Bro, how you doing? How you feeling? Whoop de whoop." He just gave me encouraging words like, "Yo, you gotta stay focused, bro. You know, stay focused. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else, stay focused, bro. Stay focused. This, that, yeah." So I'm just moving accordingly.
Yeah. It goes, man. Like, you know, Pastor's really, he's really not a theme guy, man. And you know, we was talking about this before we pushed the button. So just to share with Blueprint Nation, man. You know where we going with tonight's podcast. So it's just we're talking about managing transition, man. We transitioned from 24 to 25, and I actually shared a post a couple of days ago that I ran across, and I just kind of like reshared it. And it was talking about how, you know, this year would just be another year if you don't change your habits. Because we're always saying, you know, you still got people that do New Year. I stopped doing New Year resolution years ago.
Yeah.
You know, because it got to the point where it just becomes redundant, and you repeat that same cycle. Because we all know, come January, the gym's gonna be packed.
Yep.
By March, they're gonna be back to normal. You know, because people feel, you know, New Year resolution, it's all about consistency. So So the theme for that night of worship was release, transition, and establish. So you got to release the old in order to be established in whatever the new is that's going to present itself. But that middle part is what you got to be careful with. How you manage the transition is going to determine how everything falls into place. So when you're talking about managing the transition, you're talking about managing everything that comes with that.
Yep.
So not only does opportunity come with that, obstacles also come with that. We know, right?
Yep.
But in the midst of that, how you manage your emotions is going to be very critical. So how are you going to manage your emotions in the transition? So that's what we're talking about tonight, man. Just managing the transition. So it's just positioning yourself as 2025. Like I said, like the quote said, you know, it'll be just another year. It ain't gonna be no new year for you if you don't change your habits. Everybody wants change until it's time to change. I'm gonna repeat that. Everybody wants change. I want you to catch that till it's time to change. 'Cause everybody won't change.
Yep.
But then when it's time for the change to happen, it crickets. And it's funny, I think I seen a thing on Instagram where they had a cartoon, and it said on one line, for the people that want change, and then I think the other line they said either for the people that are actually willing to change or something to that nature. And it was only one person in that line, and in the line that everybody want change, it was full. I mean, wrapped around the corner full. So that's what I'm talking about. You know, everybody wants change till it's actually time to change. Are you willing to give up you for the great? Are you willing to give up the good for the great? Because you got to give up a part of yourself. All of this, I ain't changing no, you know, I am who I am. That's dead, dog. That's dead. You got to evolve. You know what I'm saying? You can't be 50 years old thinking the same way you was at 30. You know what I'm saying? You can, but it's not going to serve you anything. So, you know, 2025, let's put that stuff to rest, man. I just wanted to put that out there, fellas, while we get ready to, you know, talk about tonight, because I've said it, and God checked me. God checked me. That was like one of the few times that I really got arrested by God, and I knew that was him talking. And I said it myself. I'm like, man, God, this is who I am. This is who he made me to be, because I didn't want to change. Because I'm wired a certain way. You're wired a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And then the situation was, I didn't want to change in that situation. Like, God wired me this way, but there's a way you have to manage how that is, even in the midst of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so it was like I was on the 10. I was like, man, this is who I am. This is the way God made me. I'm this way for a reason. Blah 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 blah. And God just said, "Oh yeah." I was like, it's like that's how he got my attention. He said, all I was just, "Oh yeah." I was like, dang. I already know God, and I had to eat those words, because he's made you that way, but you gotta realize he wants you to grow. Yeah. And in order for you to grow, you can't be the same person tomorrow that you are today. You can't be the same person today that you were yesterday. So I'm gonna open the floor up with that, guys. So you know, y'all can go wherever you want with it.
I love what you said about that, because and it's not really profound a lot that someone can catch what they said off the cuff or as soon as they say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times they be set, and a lot of times it's a cop out to stay in the comfortable zone of what you're comfortable in, because you know it doesn't require anything for you to do anything in order to change or move forward with where you're trying to go with what you're trying to do. Right. And it's easy. I remember I was riding with Pop, and as we were going, I was like, dog, I had seen one of my classmates. And I was just like, man, my heart went out, because it's just like, for years, I've seen so many people I know just in the streets, just hanging out, just, you know what I'm saying? Just like, man, it's just like, it can't be to the point where you want more for more people than they want for themselves. And you try to be the example and to show them. But sometimes you have to be willing to know when they're not ready for that transition, or when they're not ready to move because they're stuck. But it also takes us as a people, when it comes to us as leaders, to reach back and be like, hey, bro, how you doing? Because it's been many times I've had conversations with classmates, and different people I know that had a rough life just from high school on the from middle school to young adults, you know what I'm saying? And it is hard. It's hard when you don't have that support system. So it's really important and it's imperative to have a support system as you're managing your transition and what you're coming into, because they know your blind spots. They know your weaknesses. They know what you need to work on. They know that they help make up the opposites of you, that what you already got, you know what I'm saying, tucked away, and that you're good at. I feel like we do a well-rounded, how can I say this? I feel like we're well connected and aiding each other with things that we may be struggling with, or that we may need, like, oh, bro, I ain't never thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I come to you all the time for advice. I come to Alxndr, bro, what you think about this? You know, it's good to ask those questions, because I never want to feel like I can always do it alone. I can't do it alone.
No, it's impossible.
It's a team effort. Somebody along the way at some point helped you to become the person that you see.
Exactly.
The MJs, the Jalen Roses, the Emmett Smiths, the Troy Aikmans, the Michael, like everything that you see, different celebrities. There's always been an input or a seed planted to where there's been others that's been to walk along with this journey and water. So, like, even this new transition in my life, and the importance of hearing God in the transition too. With my old job, bro, like, I've been ready to leave.
Bro, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to be intentional with God in order to really get the direction that you're seeking and wanting. Like, when Mom passed, I was like, okay, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? I was just like, okay, well, I'm ready to go. Mom not here. Like, I mean, she got me the job, so I'm just like, okay, what is my purpose here? So I had to really sit in that and work through all the hardships, the challenges.
Right.
That when everything is on you, when you're a big piece of the puzzle of helping things work and come together, because the help isn't just there. So that's a lot on a person and strenuous. He'd be like, God, I can't do this.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
so I went through this transition of, he said, even when I almost put down music.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you didn't do music for your mom. You did music to glorify me, because it's a gift I gave you. So he had to check me in that.
Yeah.
And what helped me with that was when I seen KB on the Dove Awards and just seeing him do 10K. That sparked something in me. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it gave me that spark I needed to kind of get back into the things. And as I was seeking God, and he's like, everything that you do for me isn't for just that person, in a sense of you figuring like you're doing that just because of that person. No, you were doing music even, I've already had your mom covered. I knew this was going to happen, but I need you to keep going. I've been had you doing music, not to stop just because somebody is not here that you love dearly. So I was like, okay, well, I'm praying, I'm seeking God. It's been 3 years now, because 24 make the 3 years. And out of the blue, he gave me an exit date. And I was like, okay, because even my last few jobs, I never left. After, when I told you about how my manager, he checked me and was like, it ain't about what others ain't doing. It's about how do you respond to the chaos that's going on in the kitchen. I was like, okay, I took that with me. So I was like, everywhere I go, I'm on assignment. Okay, God, what is my assignment here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just a job no more. It's an assignment. I said, what's my assignment here? Like, Mom not here, so it's just like, and I just kept being a light. I just kept doing what I know to do, and just waited on God until he gave me the release that I needed. And it was imperative, because 7 years is completion. I've been there 7 years. 8 is going into a new beginning. So it's just like,
dang, bro, you know what? I just realized that. We both transitioning at the same time. Just in different worlds. I just realized that when you said the 7, because I remember I just told y'all when I was going through my paperwork in my office. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just realized that.
That's crazy.
That,
And so it was I said all that to say this. It was imperative for me not only to have my brothers along this journey, to allow them to be with me on this journey, and to chastise, to correct, to prune, to continue to do what I know to do to keep me pushing and moving. And at times I didn't even want to keep going. Mm-hmm. You know, when you see what other people are doing in their lives, it motivates you, it encourages you, it sparks something in you that you thought once died, that you thought that you would never pick back up again. So it's imperative to hear God in the transition, and it's imperative to have that support system. You got to, especially in this time now, bro. Like it's getting crazy.
Oh yeah. I was like, just flabbergasted at how, like, I'm watching the, like, I mean, the first day, let me see, this first 5 days, first 5 days of the year, shootings, terrorism acts.
Yep.
Like, but then I'm like, God, dog, you just got here.
A lot of people checking out.
You know, but that's a gimme. But I'm just like the violence that's on the news right now, just within the first 5 days, is crazy. So I mean, it's like we don't have time to waste. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time to waste.
No, and one of the other things I will also say is that don't take time for granted. Don't move with the mindset of, oh, I have enough time. Move with a mindset of urgency in everything that you do. Some things take time, but the things that you can do, that you can go ahead and take care of, do that. The very thing that God's been kind of touching on your heart about, that's been pulling on your heart about, do that.
And check this out, man. Once, when you know, we got some philosophers on here, so when you, I like looking up words now that I've gotten older and you know, wrote a couple books and stuff like that, and I'll go back and like, I know what that means, but I just want to go look at the definition because it just triggers stuff. So we're talking about like managing the transition, managing how you move, how you act, how you respond. And so that word manage, when you look up that word manage, it means to administer and to regulate. And then in parentheses it says, well, what am I going to administer and what am I regulating? Well, first of all, we talked about your emotions. So you got to administer and you got to regulate your emotions. So you can't be so high and you can't be so low. You got to be able to stay on the even keel and be consistent. So, and it says resources under one's control. So basically you're in control. So there's a way you got to regulate. You got to get those emotions under control. And then when you look up, of course we know what the word administers mean, but of course when you actually look it up, it says to dispense or apply, manage and be responsible for the running of business, organization, etc. Right. So when you think about administer, I'm always thinking about, you know, when the scripture talks about the gift of administration, you know, how you're able to, in this sense, kind of like dispense, apply, you know, you're able to disperse, you know, once like Dub said, you can't do it all by yourself. So, and I'll add this, and I'm going to let Alxndr chime in, because you ain't just finna sit over there and not say nothing.
You finna come out the house today.
He finna come off the porch. So, you know, but, and when you're talking about, you know, like the gift of administration and things of that nature, so you're being able to administer different things. So, like, coming into this year, man, don't be like, oh, I don't know, or, you know, because here's the thing. I always say you can't find what you're not looking for. So if you're always worried about, well, I don't know if, you know, because, you know, it seems like every time I get into a relationship, it's this way, or if I get into a connection, it's this way, or just nothing ever works right for me. So if you ever stay in that mindset, then you will never reach the other side of success. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to continue to position yourself to be where you want to be, to do what you want to do, or actually what God has purposed you to do. And so that way, no matter what it looks like, you got to keep moving forward. So that means distribution, you know what I'm saying? So that means administration, that means management, that means, you know, when it's good, you being able to manage. Just like, I've had a commission job for most of my career. So you can't just because you had a good month go out and ball.
Right.
So that's when you're talking about management, administer, diversify, apply, direct. You know what I'm saying? When you think about administer. So,
yeah,
bang, you got to look at, okay, I got this check. Now I have to administer this check. So just because I had a good month, that doesn't mean next month's going to be the same way. So I had to learn how to manage finances in a whole nother way when I'm used to working so many hours, getting a certain amount of money, or I can pre-calculate what I'm going to get. You understand what I'm saying? But because I can't pre-calculate a sale because a sale is based on the sale of me selling something to another individual, which cannot be forced. So that means there has to be some type of influence there.
That does.
So therefore, my paycheck is based upon, God, dog, boy, I preach to myself. So my paycheck is based on the ability of my influence.
Yeah, for real.
When you look at it.
For real.
My paycheck was based on the ability of my influence. And so now the person buys from me. Now I can calculate from that once the sale happens. But you don't know if the sale is going to happen.
It's a probability.
You understand? It's probability. You know what I'm saying? You're expecting to make a sale or X amount of sale, but it's not guaranteed. Versus, I know I'm gonna get up in the morning. I got to punch the clock at 9 o'clock, and I get off at 5. That's 8 hours.
Yep.
At $20 an hour, at 8 hours, that's $160. Now you take that times 5. Guess what? Now you know what you're working with.
Exactly.
I'm working on commission. I ain't know what I was working with till I made the sale. Yeah, I knew what percentage of the sale I got, but I didn't know that till after the sale was made, which means if I didn't make a sale all month, I ain't make no money that month.
Yep.
So now I have to learn how to manage that. So when you're talking about managing your emotions, managing your will, managing your intellect, managing how you think, how you move, like you got to learn how to redo all of that.
For real.
Because you know what I'm saying? We always talk about new year, new you. Is it really? Because now I have to remanage how I think, how I move, how I live. Because at the end of the day, if I'm going to manage this and manage this transition until I get to the point, I got to go back to what we did with release, transition, and establish. I can't reach my establishment until I reach the security of my management. Which you know what I'm saying? Which means I'm secure in how I manage now. No matter what comes to me, no matter what comes at me, I'm gonna be even keeled. Yeah, I had a good commission check this week, but guess what? I don't know what next week gonna look like. So guess what? I'm on the even keel.
Exactly.
So now when I get ready to establish my goal for the year, now I can walk in it because I managed it properly. But I can't walk into the establishment of my goal if I'm continually mismanaging the activity that leads up to the goal. But I learned some more stuff. And that was the stuff, bro, and I'm going to turn it over to you for the alley-oop. That was the stuff I ran from, but what I ran from was the very thing that was supposed to make me who I am. Because I didn't want a commission job. I wanted, when the opportunity was offered to me, I declined it. Because... like, no, dog, I appreciate you. I thank you for the compliment. You like my personality. You think I'd be good in sales, but no, I like knowing what I'm making at the end of the week. That was my response. But man, when they say when you sick and tired of being sick and tired, and bro, when I sat down at the job I was at the time before I got into the insurance, and man, same pony and dance. Hey man, you a good worker. We love your attitude. You know, you're trained good. You're a leader. Blah 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 blah. You know, the best that I can do is X Y Z. What am I supposed to do with that? Okay, it's time to go on this search now. So I made that phone call, and the worst thing that could have happened, the very opportunity that I took, I got fired from. But then it sent me on it once again. Everything that you need is on the journey. It's not in the sit still place. It's on the journey. We're looking for the right people. The right people is on the journey.
Exactly.
It's not in you sitting in your bedroom crying, eating ice cream all day. It's on the journey. So I'm not trying to be insensitive, but man, the message that I heard today just opened my mind up to some new stuff, bro. It's like the people that you're supposed to meet are on the journey. Yes, there's gonna be some people that you may get connected with that may do you wrong, that may do you dirty, or may you have a hard time finding who to connect with. But them same people that you need, the same situation that you need, the same things that you need to learn is on that journey. Yep. So I just had to open up Google real quick and throw them there because I know my brother gonna come with that fire with that alley-oop. So I saw them gears turning. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you.
The bear has been poked.
I don't think I got, I'm in a different space, so it just one thing that kind of like stick out that I'm learning. You talking about managing transition, and the one thing that I'm starting to understand is that every transition that's mismanaged, it piles up.
Oh, that's good.
It piles up. You have to, you can't mismanage 4 or 5 transitions and then expect to have a good one. If you ain't, you have to. Yeah. You got to transition properly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Excuse my lungs.
No, you good, bro.
Even if now managing the transition properly, it doesn't mean that whatever situation is going on, it ended well.
Right.
You don't mean that, especially if you was in a situation that's not great. You know what I mean? So a situation that's not great, it has to be transitioned properly. So when you do run across a good situation, you can fully function in that place without having nothing holding you back.
Yeah.
So every transition has to be handled properly. And when you're going through transition, you do need support, especially if it's uncharted territory for you.
Right.
You need support. You need support to know, to ask, am I doing the right thing? Am I going about this the right way? Or and things like that. And another thing too, bro. No, for real. I'm just coming
Coming from
the house.
We already know.
Coming from the house, like you, and so managing transition. What happens when you're on the other end of the transition?
The B2S podcast is brought to you by No Grind, No Glory Apparel, R828 edition. It's a reminder to stay strong, to be courageous, to starve your fears, and to feed your faith. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, just know that you were born to stand out and make an impact. Head over exclusively to www.nogrindnoglory.net and grab you some merch as a daily reminder that all things work together.
So what happens when the transition flips on you? Right? Can you still? What happens if the transition flips on you? Can you manage your emotions, push them to the side, and still pray for a person that you don't feel like praying for? Are you still gonna be that person? So if you got a homeboy, the business transition go down wrong, he's still money from you. Are you still gonna respect him or not? He done stole something for you. But are you gonna respect him or not? Are you gonna pray for him or not? You mad at him, but can you put your feelings to the side and be who you were called to be in his life, regardless if they mismanage your relationship or not?
That's
good.
You know what I mean?
That's a bar.
So what happens? So we talking about managing transition. What happens when it flips and it turns on you? Or can you still be that person for that person, even if they can't see that you're that person for them?
Yeah.
That's big.
That's good.
That's big. Yeah, bro. When you look at the most successful people, bro, and I ain't talking about clout, I'm not talking about money, although it's inclusive of it. But when you look at some of the most influential people, bro, they knew how to manage change. That's all transition is change. When you look at, and even when you want to look at, if you put it into the stem of the CEOs, the executives, all these guys in these big positions, they know how to manage change very well.
Bro, do you know the worst? Do you know, bro? And it's sad. The worst type of influence is powerful.
It's very powerful.
It's very
Right? So, and influence has effects on people. And it's very, the worst situation a person can land himself in is when their biggest influence is a person who is extremely self-righteous. You're in the worst position when the person who is influencing you is extremely self-righteous. You know what I mean? Like too much of this, but can't get it right in the middle. So then they're leading you. You're lost. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to Everything is surface. Everything is minute. It's not deep rooted. So when we're talking about managing transition, you have to get around people who are going where you have been.
exactly.
You have to. There's no way you can manage a major transition in your life and not be around people who have executed properly what you have done. If you're trying to get married, you need to be around married people who don't have perfect relationships. They have
Sustainable relationships.
sustainable, godly relationships.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of energy, and whether it's business, whether it's transactional, whether it's marriage, or just dating, what have you. All of that stuff is all of it's transactional, regardless.
Bro, do you know one of my favorite Marvel characters? And I don't even do Marvel like that, you feel me? My youngin' like Marvel, Rain like Marvel. But one of my favorite Marvel characters is Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah. You feel me? Because he just shoot out the web, and whatever he shoot is connected to. But that's a dangerous thing, though. It's dangerous. That can be. See, here's the thing, dog. See, we talking about managing transition, right? So we talking about managing. We talking about managing transition. So sometimes, you can become a super villain. You know how we talked about self-sabotage before, and sometimes something that's so great about you can be so bad. Like you can become a super villain. You ever been walking outside or in the house, and then you walking past a tree, like, oh, what is that?
Right, right. Walk right into a web that you ain't see.
You don't even see. That's what happens when you don't manage transitions properly. When you leave doors halfway open and you don't close certain things off, you're shooting out little webs trying to stay connected that shouldn't be there. So when it's time for you to walk properly into a whole different direction, snap, you walking in all this stuff and now you're stuck. Because you haven't managed transitions properly. And when you're trying to get that stuff cleaned up, you have to have the right people in your ear and in your corner that can help you clean the spider webs out of your corners. So you're now walking into something that you don't even doggone see. You got so many spider webs, you can't do nothing. You just dangling like that. Just dangling, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, you talking about help.
Like a puppet on a string.
You dangling, right? Listen, you Pinocchio'd out. You dangling, right? So, for real. So,
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy, right? So, you're a real boy. And here's the thing. He was saying he was a real boy because he saw the things and he might have felt it. He was a fake boy that saw real stuff and it felt real, but he was hinged up, so it was all fake. You don't want to be like that. You want to be real and in that. You want to be real and in present and active where you at. You know what I mean? So you have to get around people. Even me right now, I'm going through a transition. Don't know what's going on, but I know I have individuals who are qualified, who help me manage transition. You know what I mean? So regardless, bro, you gotta have people in your corner around you.
For real.
You have to open up. And here's the thing too. This junk crazy, bro. We talk about managing transition. You cannot manage transition if you're not in proximity with a person. That's called intimacy. You have to open up about what's really going on in your life so people can really help you. I can't help you manage. How can you help? How can a broker or a person who does investments really help you if you don't open up all your assets? You got 2 or 3 accounts over here they don't know about, but you want all your money dumped in and be straight. What are you doing? That's not how that works. If you want the best result, you have to open up everything. You have to allow everything to be seen. You know what I mean? So we talking about managing transition. You have to be in close proximity with a person who can really help you manage.
Yeah, that's good. That's good,
real good, bro. you got my gears. You got my gears turning now because I think about when you think about construction, when you think about a company that has the blueprint to the layout of what you're trying to build. You go to somebody that understands the layout, the structure, the blueprint, everything. And when you go to them, you're not going to them just because, I feel like you're the go-to. No, they're experts in that field, in that area of work or what they do. So who is your construction company? Who is your company that you keep to help build and figure out your blueprint and the dimensions to make sure everything is built and that it's firm and that the foundation is set?
Bro, you got my mind turned. Now I'm thinking, cause see, we've bought houses, but never built one, right? So, but, through the transition, Pop built a house. Never built one before, you know what I'm saying? So, but he went through the process of it, right? So now, and I'm saying all that to say this now, even though he never been through the process of building a house, here's what you can't do in the transition. You cannot say what you don't know. You cannot factor in you have never been there before, because he's never been there before, never did it before, but he had enough sense to know when he was being ripped off. Because in the midst of the transition, you understand, know when you're being ripped off. And what I mean by that is somebody trying to talk you out of a place where you know you should be, even if it's painful. You know what I'm saying? Because without pain, there's no growth in certain instances, right? So what I mean by that, there are certain things that Pop didn't allow the contractor to purchase. He purchased them himself. Why is that important? Because in the midst of the transition, there's a price to pay, but yet you don't want to be taken advantage of and pay a price too great to the point to where it brings you to a deficit. Because there was a budget. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a budget, right? Yep. So even though I could afford XYZ, but I'm not gonna pay you XYZ, bro. And I'm not telling it, but just to give you an example, when he started talking numbers on some of the simple stuff that we just hand over to the contractor and let them do their thing, and it's covered by the loan or down payment or whatever portion is covering that money, right? It's ridiculous. When he started telling me the numbers on what the contractor was charging versus him going to home, we can't be lazy in this season, y'all. No. We can't be lazy. Bro, Pop saved, I'm not talking about hundreds. Pop saved thousands by doing the same thing that the contractor won't do on some of the little simple stuff, like light fixtures, doorknobs, faucets, the decorative stuff, just small stuff that would have cost him thousands. He ended up paying hundreds for, because he wasn't afraid to go get his hands dirty. Because it's very important to recognize where you are in the transition, because you don't want to get taken advantage of. How many times have you been taken advantage of because you've been emotionally distraught? How many times you've been taken advantage of because you lacked focus in a certain area? Sometimes not purposely, sometimes distractions. Maybe something caught your attention And it distracted you from, you know, being focused in that moment, in that season. So it's like, man, like Spider-Man, like he's one of my favorite characters. It's like, you know, when the camera is like when he hears something, it zooms into his face. It's like that's like how my mind is right now. It's like, okay, it's like I'm zoomed in. Do I need to be doing this? It's like zoom. Do I need to be doing it? Zoom. Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, when we got together last week, right? I already had my plan for my date, but guess what? There was a pivot that was important enough to me to shift my whole day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You gotta be. It's like, you know, you like 2025. It's like you gotta. It's like you gotta. It's. Pastor's not a theme guy, but everything he said, it resonated so much in me. It's like I just caught it and grabbed a hold to it. It's like everything that I believe that I've been waiting for up to this moment. It's like 2025 is the establishment of all that. It's like all the goals, all the dreams, all the me going through vision boards and ripping them up because I got frustrated, or me doing vision boards and like I ain't doing no vision board this year because I got too many visions on that board that didn't come to pass. So why am I gonna waste my time doing a new one, bro? They like doing I feel like this year is the year that it's like it's gonna establish everything that I worked so hard for, everything that I believe God so hard for. It's like I believe it. So it's like we got this. So it's like the things that we've slacked in. It's like we gotta pull the slack out of those areas because it's just that pivotal, not only for where you going, but for where the world is going. And you got to learn how to manage all of this in the meantime. Because the world, just like you're going through a transition, the world is going through a transition in its own. And you got to learn how to manage all of that. When you're going through economic decline, when you go, bro, it's like...
It's a lot.
Yeah, bro, like, we in the missus, we spent some time together yesterday. And, you know, we did, you know, we still kind of getting the house together. So, you know, we went and picked up a few things and then just kind of spent together, went and got some to eat and stuff. You know, stores closing. Like closing. So the world is going through a transition. The presidency is changing for to go through another transition. It's like how we manage that is going to determine the success that when we come out on the other side. And like you said, bro, if we mismanage the transition, bro, we mismanage everything and it just piles up. And that's what we don't want to do. Because I believe, man, and it's not just for me, but for people that are listening, man, and it's resonating with your spirit. It's something special about 2025. Not saying that the previous years, but it's like the pinnacle of what you've been waiting on is about to happen. And you got to manage this transition properly.
Because when you manage transitions properly, on the other side, everything is up to date.
It's like the software.
Everything is up to date, ready to go when you manage manage transitions properly. Like when you go through things and you manage a transition properly, you can get healing in a matter of time. I'm not saying that if you get a cut and it scrape up, you know, it might have a little whatever. If you don't tend to it, it's gonna take longer to heal. If you don't tend to it, the longer you don't manage from when it got damaged,
It's good.
it's gonna take longer for it to heal. You know what I mean? So when you manage those transitions, man, you are able to be in a certain predicament at a certain amount of time. And it's just vital. Like when you on the other side, you are a certain type of way. Like your trauma is dealt with at a certain amount of time. I'm not saying you might have to go revisit some stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But you handling the transition properly. So on the other end, you are a certain type of way. Everything is up to date.
1000%.
Everything is up to date. You know what I mean? Like it's no, bro. Ain't nothing like. If you don't manage transition, everything about you is extremely expired.
Outdated.
So you'll be in 2025, but you got a 2022 mindset. You got 2019 emotions. Because you ain't dealt with stuff. You know what I mean? Like you got You got 2018 sex ties.
Still doing it. Mm-hmm.
Like you still so tied to certain people you shouldn't be to.
Mm-hmm.
Because of certain things that you didn't manage it properly.
For real.
And now when you come in a new environment, you got all this expired stuff. It's almost like you're almost no good to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is old on you. Extremely freaking old. Everything is worn out.
Still got bugs and fixes that need to be fixed,
Yeah.
but you can't fix it because it ain't updated.
And not saying nobody perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Everybody got stuff they can improve on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Improve and expire is different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Getting rid of the old software, you can't even update the software because the software you got, they don't. You have to get the new version first to update it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you manage those transitions, dog, you're able to build a certain. And I'm telling you, and it's crazy, but it's just ringing off like what happens when it flips. When you're on the other end of the transition, can you still be that person in that transition when you started?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So something happened, can you still pray for that person? Can you put you aside and do what God called you to be in their life regardless, if they recognize you in their life as something viable or not? That take a lot, bro.
What we do?
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're talking about managing transition. So what happens when you on the other side of that thing?
Yeah, and that's why I've always said, even when I went through my stint of doing a lot with finances and stuff like that. That's why I always said money is a magnifier.
Oh yeah.
When people say money changed people, no. Money don't change you. Money reveals who you really are. You know what I'm saying? I always said the money is a magnifier. You know what I'm saying? So it's like who you, like bro said, like who you are in the transition. Like you still gotta be that person. Don't get bitter. Don't let transition. You can't. Because guess what? The fact of the matter is somebody gonna lose their job. The fact of the matter is somebody done lost a loved one. The fact of the matter is there's some things that's gonna transpire in your life the way you would have the right to do what you're gonna do, or to say what you're gonna say, or to feel how you're gonna feel. But is that the right process to manage it in that manner in that season when you're in transition? The support when we lost mom, one of the first things when Pastor called me, he said, bro, he said, man, he said, I don't know why. He said, but man, I really wasn't even like thinking about you, but you just popped up. And I got to tell you this. So I feel like God want me to tell you this. He said, man, don't be trying to figure out why. He said, because some people go down that rabbit hole and don't make it back. And I listen. I'm like, yeah, because this don't make sense to me right now. This don't make a whole lot of sense to me. This don't make no sense in
Whatsoever.
God's green earth, heaven, or hell right now. It don't make no sense to me right now. And once I accepted the fact that there was nothing I could do about this situation, it was a peace that came that I couldn't even explain. And I remember when me and Pop was sitting on the porch and we was talking, and it was in that moment that I accepted the fact that this is it.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do, And once you accept the fact that this is it, that's that release. When Pastor talking about it, see, that's that thing, release. You can't move on to your next till you release. Yes, it may hurt. Yeah, it may be frustrated. Yes, it may be painful. But in the release, there is peace. Let the chips fall where they're going to fall. Control what you can control. That what you can't control. And I'm still learning this, But one thing I can say is once, and we talked about this in every episode, not, exactly saying it, but in the skills and the tools that we share, is acknowledging. I got to be consistent in who I am, regardless. Don't let it turn you bitter. Don't let it turn you sour. What can you learn from it? And these are the people that I have in my circle. Like these two guys here, other people that I have in my circle. Like if something bad happened, we may wallow in it for a split second because it hurt in that moment. But what can I get out of it? What is God trying to teach me out of it? What am I trying to learn? What can come out? You know, do you know some of the top songs written that we listened to was written out of emotional pain? A lot of it. A lot of your favorite records came from a place of emotional distraught. So how did they manage their emotion in that season? They put it in a song.
You know what?
For real. That was their therapy. You know what I'm saying? It was therapeutic.
So you know, new management skills. You know, go ahead, bro.
No, manage. All right, so we got manage. Right, we went there. Right. Excuse me, that's my lungs, bro. They're getting back right. We talking about manage transition. Transition is the other half of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Here's the thing. Transition requires movement.
Took my exact words.
All right, so manage is the preparation and all the and those things for the transition. Here is one key thing. Transition requires movement. Most of the time, I've seen people, they transition forward. You know what I'm saying? You transition your gear, the car moves forward. Most cars move forward and backwards on the road. Sometimes you do have to go backwards. Sometimes you got to stop. Sometimes
You spend more time in moving forward than you do backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But all the other ones are vital to you moving forward. So we're not taking away all the other ones. But transition requires movement. Movement is moving forward. You cannot move forward if you are chained up to a tow truck. You can't move forward. You cannot move forward if you got your parking brake on. You can't move forward. So when we're talking about people, right? If you are quote unquote owned by a lot of people, or if too many people got their claws on you, you cannot move forward. You have to go and take yourself back from all these different places, gather yourself so you can move forward. Does that make any type of sense? You know what I mean? So if this person got an emotional hold on you, you have to get yourself back from them. If this person got a sexual hold on you, you have to get yourself back from them. If this person have an intellectual hold on you, you have to go and get yourself back. Go and get yourself back so you can move forward, so you can be with yourself and learn who you are. But you can't be spread out amongst too many people.
That's good.
So in 25, I know a lot of people, they feel like they owe themselves to people, or they feel like they indebted to people. Oh, you don't owe them nothing. You're not indebted to nothing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
What you are owned by them people. You're owned by them. They own you. Because as soon as they blink or do whatever, you can't be like that. You have to go get yourself back. Last time I checked, Jesus went down to the pits of hell. He came back with the key. He went down and, let me get that back. I got that.
Yeah. That's
So if he can go down there and get that back, I need to go back and get myself back.
Yeah.
You have no place to own me. You cannot have my mind. You cannot have my thoughts. You cannot have my emotions. You can't have none of that.
Nothing.
So in 25, my people, I'm telling you, go get yourself back. Don't let them have too much impression on you. Don't let her have too much impression on you. Don't let what she think about you cause you to, no, don't let what he think, no, go get yourself back. If I move based upon what you think about me, I'll be jacked up.
Right, exactly.
For real.
Exactly.
Because if in your mind I'm a certain type of way, if I buy into how you think about me, so what the man thinking he is. So I can't buy into how you feel about me. I gotta buy into what God said that I am.
That's it.
So go get yourself back so you can transition.
For real.
You can't even get in the place of management to transition because you're owned by too many people. Too many people own you. No, go get yourself back.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good. Well, listen, y'all. Hey, 2025 is going to be a great year. No matter what it looks like, keep speaking it, keep moving towards it. One major thing is funny because that's what I talk. Because my portion is like, my portion to pray on was transition, which, because he does them each differently. So sometimes we're involved. Sometimes he just bring other people in so we can kind of get fed and refreshed and let them handle it. But, you know, he which was good because, you know, based on he knew, you know, our conversation, he knew where I was and where I am. And so it's like, you know, what better person to speak on transition than you right now? So it's like, you know, just so that was my portion that I prayed over the congregation. So, and I said the same thing, transition requires movement.
Yeah.
It requires movement. It's not an option. And so
No suggestion.
going back, you know, as we get ready to close out this episode, but 2025, you gotta move. You gotta move. And I'm gonna let Dub say something before we technically close out. So he may got something on, but I just wanted to share that with y'all. That because what bro said just got through saying is like all I heard was limited access. All I heard was limited access. As great as Jesus was, and as powerful as Jesus was, there were times where he limited access to himself. So, because you're like, you know, Jesus was for the world. Yeah, he was, but there was times where there was limited access. There was times where Jesus had to go by himself and pray. There were times where he only took Peter, James, and John and pray. You know what I'm saying? There were times he had to share certain things or do certain things in certain crowds that he didn't do in other crowds. So that means he limited himself in that situation. So you gotta understand that. So it ain't like you a bad person. It ain't like, nah. Like I'm saying, it's one thing about spreading yourself too thin and people having claws in you, like bro said, but like being laser focused, it's like you gotta, like, we talk about being intentional, and I said this, I just shared this with my wife. I said, yeah, I know I'm intentional about a lot of things, but I'm really fit to be intentional about this particular thing right here coming up this year, because I believe what God is speaking to me is because I have to get so intentional with this right here, because it's going to impact the trajectory of the way the family is going to move in that area, from my wife to my daughters. So it's going to be seen in a totally different light. So I'm ready for it, man. So, but I'm going to go ahead and alley-oop this up the Dub, and then we're going to get up out of here.
Ooh, you done sparked something.
So I'm gonna let you say what you got to say before we get up out of here. And then we're going to go on and take it.
Triple A. Access, activation, and acceleration. Tap into that. I had written something that pertained to access denied. I went through a season, crazy season. Just a lot of things was going on, and it showed me that I'm giving too much of an access of myself. From emotions, from thoughts, from physical appearance. So this season, I made sure I pointed that I'm focusing on me. Just reflecting and thinking about how, and still helping everybody that's in my circle, that's always gonna be. But just understanding that in order for us to be able to accelerate, in order for us to be able to move with urgency, we have to understand the importance of priority. What are you prioritizing? That's something Pastor talked about this morning about, making the first things first. God, family, ministry, so forth and so forth. So what's at the top of your list? Are you prioritizing you so people can get the best version of you? So even if you got to withdraw, you can still be cordial. You can still be loving. It doesn't mean they're an enemy, not by any means. But it just means that you have to focus on whatever God has called you to do. And whatever that is, whatever that business is, whatever that calling, whatever that purpose, whatever you're passionate about, even if it's something you're just diving into, tap into what you're afraid to tap into. This year, you have to move in faith. You have to move with resilience. You have to. Like God was dealing with me earlier this week on the sense of time and urgency. I can't walk around here thinking I got all the time in the world. You know, I can't. It's just like a certain arrogance thinking God gonna give you more time than what you really have. So you got to hone in on your skill set, whatever it is that you're focused on, and go for a throttle in it. Dive head first. And this is the most important thing that we cannot stress. Pick your dream team. Pick who you need that will be along this journey, that'll help you, that will assist you to accelerate into accessing something you've never been had access to before. That's all what's on my heart.
Boom, there you have it.
That's all.
And as we get ready to get up out of here, as we technically finish out the first episode in 2025.
I'm excited.
Hey, we are excited. And just remember, as we get ready to get up out of here, prioritize self-care this year.
Tell you.
That is a top deal breaker when it comes to moving in this transitional period that you're facing or going to face. Because if you're not in the transition, I guarantee you're going to be in one at some point. So make sure you prioritize yourself. And that way you can learn how to allow things to enter as well as exit your life based on how you prioritize things. And then allow God to allow your gift to shine through. So maintain patience in the process. Maintain a positive attitude in the process. Don't lose your sense of sanity in the process. Don't get lost in the sauce in the transition. So, man, this has been a good one to kick off. So we hope we've said something to carry you along your way in the journey. Blueprint Nation, stand up, rise up. And y'all know how we like to get up out of here, man. Shoot for the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. If you think different and be different, you have the opportunity to live different. And once again, we'll see you on the other side of success. Once again, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.